$650 million. That's how much Ontario's school boards paid to cover teacher and educational workers' sick leaves in 2017-2018. I'm Cristina Howorun, and while teacher unions and federations continue to fight with the government over smaller class sizes, the maintenance of full-time kindergarten and full-day kindergarten, and a cost of living increase, the government is trying to clamp down on escalating teacher absenteeism costs.
The fact is, we taxpayers will spend about $650 million per year. School boards will see that money not being spent on the front lines in classroom and mental health supports and renewing our schools because of the absenteeism of our educators or their workers.
It's a number that's been steadily climbing over the past few years. In just 3 years, sick leave costs escalated by $150 million. On average, teachers and education workers take more than 13 sick days per year, pushing them into short-term disability benefits. Teachers are currently allotted 11 paid sick days a year with up to 120 additional days through short-term disability. That's paid at 90%. However, not all boards require medical notes to access short-term disability benefits.
Yes, it wasn't a provincialized approach, and for many boards they did not. And so we think it's in the interest of the system, of our kids and as taxpayers to ensure that there's a greater level of integrity to strengthen the system, which is why that doctor's note for the additional days is something we're negotiating, and we think it's responsible for our kids.
CUPE, which represents educational support staff, accepted these new terms earlier this fall. But the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, or OSSTF, is bristling at the notion of requiring a doctor's note for even single-day absences after the original 11 sick days have been used.
It's very clear that sick notes for single-day absences aren't supported even by doctors. They see it as a waste of resources within the medical system. It also leads to more illness, as somebody with a flu comes in to sit in a waiting room while they get a note for a single day of absence. That's not the way forward. Let's take a look at what's causing the increase in absenteeism, and I say we should point directly at the rise in violence in our schools.
According to a September 2019 study by the University of Ottawa, more than 50% of elementary school education workers they polled experienced violence in the classroom. Of the participants in the study that did experience workplace violence, only 19% took time away from work as a result of the incident. It's one of several issues the elementary and high school teacher unions are trying to address at the bargaining table. However, at this point, not much bargaining is going on. While the elementary school teachers are at the table today, if nothing changes, tomorrow they are expected to escalate their administrative work to rule. And, for example, they will no longer be planning things like field trips. As for secondary school teachers, well, if nothing changes, they are scheduled to have yet another one-day walkout at select boards across the province, including Toronto, on Wednesday. At this point, they have no other bargaining dates scheduled with the province.